do you think? Good. Morning, everybody. It is Monday morning, July 10th, 2017. And before we get this week started, let's check the crypto report, shall we? Alright guys, my crypto report is really sucking a big one lately. I don't know what to say. I mean, I keep adding to my portfolio every little piece and part that I get. Last week I got a payout, I got another Ether. I got 2,000 or 3,000 more Scicoin since then. What else? I don't know. I don't know what to do. The value just keeps dropping. Ether's like under 240. As of this morning. My freaking swarm went back down proportionally. So, you know, I knew something was up with the swarm, because like Ether was like 250, 260, but my swarm was worth, relatively speaking, like $3.80 per Ether proportionally. So I was like, oh, that's kind of inflated. Wanted to cash it out, and I didn't. So just sucks. Really sucks. So I don't know, I'm gonna give it maybe one more week, and if nothing happens, I might just cash out and do my $5,000 loan. I'm noticing as time goes on that BitConnect, their interest rates are kind of dropping, so that's one of the things that I really wanted to track myself. And you know, like my, I want to say my first loan that was placed a little over 3 weeks ago, that loan, the average interest rate is like around like 0.75, 0.8. And the second loan that I placed just over a week ago, about 10 days ago or so, that son of a bitch is saying that my average is like 0.5% for the interest rate. So I'm thinking as they're accumulating more and more money, or I should say crypto, they're turning down the dial on the interest payout. So it was to entice people to join or to get in there. So kind of seeing why it's such an advantage to have the higher loans. So the higher loans, you get the daily payout plus 0.1 or 0.2% on top of that. So I want to say if you make a loan, I believe it's so if it's like $10 to $1,000, you get the daily going rate for interest payout. Now if it's $1,000 to $5,000, it's I want to say like the daily rate plus 0.1. And then if you do the 5,000 and up, it's the daily rate plus 0.2, I believe. So what's nice about that is there's a lot of days that there's 0% or like 0.06. So like in the past week, we've had 2 days like that. One day was 0, the next day was 0.06. It's basically nothing. So if I still had that 0.2% added on top of nothing, it's a little bit more of nothing. No, but you know, you can see where that's going. So sorry about all the noise. It's raining pretty heavily here. But I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should just cash out my swarm, like wait for it to get to, you know, the next run up of swarm, or what. But I'm getting impatient here, and this stuff, everything moves very quickly. It's so surreal. It's more my style, but you know, in terms of being patient and all that, it's just like man, it can all change in like weeks. Actually, you can change in days or hours or minutes. I've seen that too. So I mean, in less than a month, my portfolio has been cut in half. So that, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if people are just getting burned out, because we were all going pretty crazy with it. But yeah. So I'm leaving to work. I'm running pretty late actually. And man, we had some wild storms last night, or this morning I should say. Woke up to thunder, like massive thunder shaking the house, and it actually blipped the power. And so before I left, I was like, oh man, what, make sure my miner is okay that's at the house. And I couldn't see it on TeamViewer, which I was like, okay, well, the power went out, so it probably reset the computer. So I went to check, and like the Wi-Fi was killed off. The wireless internet wasn't working at all. So I had to reset the wireless router, brought the Wi-Fi back online, and then once that was done, the miner came back online. So it basically couldn't connect to the Wi-Fi. I think we're getting some sort of new or different internet today. I just realized that I'm going to need a computer monitor in order to be able to check that out or get that on the new internet. So yeah, I guess I'm going to have to bring my monitor back from Vicky's place. Trying to think if there's any other way to do this, but I don't think so. Huh. Yeah, I don't think so. A lot of work to do these miners and just to maintain them and keep them going and checking on them. And, there's some tools to automate it. I'm using remote desktop to log in remotely, without needing like a keyboard or mouse or any of that shit attached to it. But then I'm also what else am I using? Yeah, but anyway, anyone that's getting into mining, I recommend it, but I just I always try to make them do their due diligence to make sure that they know exactly what they're getting into, because the initial cost is very high. The frustrations are always there. I mentioned it before. My neighbor, he got into mining, right? So he ordered 3 1070 GTX FTWs, I believe. That's what he told me he got. I don't know. So it's basically the same setup that Vicky has in her apartment. And he's dual mining, so he's mining Pascal coin and Ether. And I don't know, it's been like 2 weeks or something that I've been mining with that machine, and it's only earned less than 0.5 Ether. So difficulty is so high that unless you're like going balls in with like an entire farm set up, I don't know if it's worth it. Just fucking buy the shit direct. Buy the Ether straight up, and you don't have to wait for anything. And pay power bills and all that. So he was telling me, my neighbor was telling me that he got his PCI riser cards, and after using them, or one of them for 5 minutes, it blew up. One of the capacitors popped and shot shit all over his motherboard or whatever. And yeah, so I had let him borrow one of my 16x to 16x ribbon cables. They're about a foot long or so, and they work well. It's basically just an extension cable for the PCI card. There's no power to it, there's no extra anything, and it worked well. It worked for him, but he replaced it so he can give me my card back. the PCI riser, or the PCI extension cable things, they're pricey. They're like $30 a piece, whereas like the risers, they're like $50 for like 6. So I ordered some risers. They did come. I have maybe one more card that I can get up and running. I just don't know when I'll have time to dick with it. So I know all I talk about is crypto stuff, but this weekend I should say, was awesome. Excuse me, this weather's killing me. Yesterday, Grant and I, we just basically spent all day together. So him and I went to the splash pad, which is like a little water, like tiny water park thing with like little jets that squirt water and stuff. We brought his monster trucks, and one of them kind of broke. He got his monster trucks on Saturday, and then so we did the water park yesterday. Vicky stayed back at the house, so she got really burned at the Jeep meet. So like she was wearing like a tank top, so like her whole like neck and like upper chest here was all burned, and I don't know. It's tough. I don't know if she's just not used to my lifestyle or what. So this is her first summer living here, and she's not very active. So all she does is like basically just sit and watch Grant and I play the whole time. And I feel bad for her, but I don't know if I don't know like what's normal for her. So she prefers to just sit and play on her phone, while, you know, I'd prefer to play with Grant while I can. I mean, another 2-3 more years and he's not going to want to have anything to do with old dad. But Grant and I played some baseball, and I deployed the drone. So I was flying the drone to get some hopefully cool camera angles. I haven't watched them yet. I got the memory card in my pocket here, and yeah, pretty excited about that though. So just trying different stuff and having fun. So much needed weekend. You know, we basically spent the entire weekend out in the sun. So what did we do Friday? I think we just played outside on Friday. I was tired from work. And then Saturday we did the Jeep thing all day, and then yesterday we were playing soccer. Grant and I were playing soccer. I think Saturday night we played baseball, but yesterday we were playing soccer, and it was so hot. It was like hot, muggy, humid, and the grass was like just dying from us running on it and playing baseball and soccer and everything else. So I was like, hey, how about we just, you know, put on our swimsuits? Grant was still in a swimsuit from the splash pad, so I put mine on. And so why don't we play some soccer in the sprinkler? So that's what we did. We put the sprinkler on, and him and I ran back and forth in the water and all that. And it was a really good time. It made it a lot more enjoyable having that cold water to run through and stuff. So that was really, really awesome. But I think that's about it. I gotta cash out some of my BitConnect stuff. So I got almost $10 accrued in there. I was waiting for their BCC tokens to come down a little bit in price. So they pay you out in literally it just says US dollars, and then you have to like buy their tokens to ultimately cash it out. So like their token is now worth like $60 per token. So if I have, I don't know, like $20 or $10 worth of in the US dollar category, then I have to convert it over to BCC and then use the rate BCC. So let's say one BCC is worth $60, then I have to convert that over to Bitcoin based on the going rate of Bitcoin. It's a whole thing. So in the past it's helped me make or earn more crypto, because like for instance I'll convert the US dollar to BCC and then just hang on to the BCC. The BCC keeps going up, so like I'll keep buying or holding on to that until it like let's say Bitcoin crashed the one day. So Bitcoin was low, BCC was relatively high, So then that gave me more buying power to buy more Bitcoin at the time. I mean, we're talking tens of dollars though, so it's, I don't know why I'm like so crazy about it. Where I'm noticing I'm getting dinged the most is when I cash out my Bitcoin. So they're taking something like 0.0001 Bitcoin per transaction. It was like $2 or $3, $2.50 or so per transaction. So if I'm only cashing out $10, that's 25% of my freaking earnings. So I need to be more careful with that. So I mentioned it before, but I think I'm gonna just cash out every 2 weeks, and then divide whatever I cash out amongst all of my wallets for however many loans I have out, and that will minimize the fees that they take. And basically, I'll only accrue like $1 $2.50 fee per 2 weeks or something, rather than daily or whatever. But learning more about this stuff as time goes on, and this is my big paradigm shift out of just Ether or Ether-based coins and more into Bitcoin and Ether. So Bitcoin, I mean, it's still the top dog, and Bitcoin's accepted a lot more places than Ether. I did sign up for that BitPay credit card system the other day, last week. I should be getting that this week in the mail at some point. So, good or bad, you still need Bitcoin at the end of the day. So, and you can, the whole car is rattling whenever I hit bumps, but you can buy stuff from Amazon with Bitcoin. So I was thinking about that. Just, wanting to get some various different things or here or there or whatever. And it would be fun to have fun money to spend, and rather than have to spend my hard-earned cash, my day-to-day income money from my day job, all that stuff. So, what else? I have almost enough crypto for my next loan. So my next loan will be on Thursday, and I don't know, I just need to figure out what to do to I don't know, basically get another $100 or so of Bitcoin to fill out this loan. So working on that. I might just cash out an Ether or something like that. I don't think I really want to spend my Sia coins. So I just kind of had this idea. I said, well, maybe after I accrue 100,000 of Sia coin, I'll switch my dual miner and set it to different coin, any other altcoin, and then just start saving up 100,000 or whatever it is of those too. So that would be for a rainy day, many years, 2-3 years down the line. Those coins will eventually be worth something more than they are now. Right now, my 12,000 Sia coins are worth $100 or less. But almost a year ago when I first got into this and was dual mining, they would have been worth $20, or I don't know. The value has, substantially gone up. Where I'm going with that. So it looks like the rain has subsided and the ground's still wet, but the skies are looking clear up north. And with that, I'm gonna call it. So stay tuned for more. What's going on, everybody? I am just getting out of work for the day, and let me tell you, I just really didn't want to do much work today. So that's what it comes down to. Slow going getting this week started. And you know what I did was I spent my lunch break. I went through all my daily vlogs, and I got all the renderings ready. I got to actually render them, and still have a month's worth of vlog posts to upload to YouTube and schedule. But glad. I'm happy. I'm happy to be all caught up with that. So I shot a little bit of drone footage over the past week, and that turned out pretty cool, really nice. And I was looking at my Blockfolio app just now, and I saw that it said BCC, which is the BitConnect coin. It said that it was $30. was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. So I looked at it a little bit closer, and it's on some obscure exchange. It's called Nova Exchange, and I'm gonna look into it because on BitConnect's website, one BCC is going for 55 bucks. On this exchange, it's going for like around 30. So it's like, oh, that's interesting. So I don't know what is up with that. All that I know is if that is true and there's enough orders out there to pick some of this shit up, why not start buying it? So kind of just my thought. So I do have some Bitcoin that I was waiting to do loan number 3 with, and I need to buy, basically I need to convert that Bitcoin over to BCC anyway. So I'm thinking like, shit, man, why don't I, you know, almost buy it for half price and just transfer it over to BitConnect's website. So I'm gonna look into that either later tonight or tomorrow. If that's true, like if I can get a bunch of BCC for dirt cheap, fuck it, man. Like I'll buy up all their shit. So I've never seen it less than like 50 bucks or 48 bucks on their website themselves. So I don't know anything about this exchange website or whatever, or what it takes to sign up and get an account and all that. But yeah, I mean, I can always test it out. I mean, you know, if I buy $200 worth of Bitcoin, and it's like 60% of the actual value, I mean, I'm gonna get a lot more buying power with that. So that's called that arbitrage or arbitrage trading, where you buy it cheap in one place, transfer it over to another place, and then sell it for a profit. So we'll see. I don't know. I just never come across any deals like that before. So if that is true, then make it happen. So like I said, I got to do the math and all that and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, I have over $400 in Bitcoin right now. So that'd be pretty cool, you know, to buy up a bunch of that stuff for super cheap. But not much else going on. So Grant stayed home with my parents today. They just kind of hung out and had a good day today. And it sounds like Grant's doing really well and having a good time with them. And I am currently sitting in bumper to bumper traffic. So I need to get home and then figure out what's going on from there. Guess who got their BitPay credit card? Yay! Really excited about this. Gonna try it out soon.